Welcome to the Entrepreneurial Collective podcast, where we tell it like it is, and it is like we tell it. As always, I'm your host, Dickie, and today I want to talk about mentorship. Yes, today's subject matter, we're talking about mentorship. Right? Inside the Entrepreneurial Collective, what we've done here is put together a group of budding entrepreneurs, individuals who have already started on their entrepreneurial venture and are looking to increase their production levels, increase their business, their market, and improve. But we've also got a group of people who are just that, budding entrepreneurs. They've got that fire inside themselves. They know they've got that value to bring to the marketplace, and they're looking for the direction on exactly how to get there the quickest and most efficient way possible. I'm sure many of you watching this right now fall into that category, and that's exactly why we created this community. Now, for today, I want to use an example on mentorship, and I want to share a story that will serve as a prime example on why mentorship is so important, but also how to take advantage of mentorship, especially when you find the right mentor. All of us have mentors. All successful people do. It's kind of like a ladder in life, right? I want you to envision that, all of us start on this same ladder. Many of us are, we could be teenagers, 20 years old, 30 years old, whatever the point is. It's not really age specific. But the beginning of the ladder, that first rung of the ladder, what that represents is the start of your journey. And this ladder, it's the ascension to entrepreneurial greatness. Now, the way this ladder works is as you're ascending on this ladder, you're going through different experiences. You're building your business. You're experiencing highs, lows. You're having successes, failures, all of these things that happen along this epic journey. And all of them are teaching opportunities that you learn from. Now, as you ascend on this ladder, you gain in your wisdom and your understanding on how to be successful, how to be effective and efficient in this journey. And on this ladder are a series of our alikes, fellow entrepreneurs. Now, all of us on this ladder are looking for the people who are further up on the ladder, because it is those who we can save time from. Those are the ones we can glean from, right? It's people who have already had the experiences that we are about to embark on that are going to be the best people to give us advice on what to do, what not to do, things to avoid, things to consider, so that our journey could perhaps be a little bit smoother than theirs. Smart people understand this ladder, are constantly looking for the people above them on this ladder to expedite their process, their journey as they move forward in their entrepreneurial venture. And also, those of us that are moving up along this ladder, we're always looking down for those that are coming right behind us, because I'll tell you something, and I'm sure all successful people will agree, one of the things that, we get the most joy in is when we see other people coming along the same path that we trailblazed, the same path we came along, and affording us an opportunity to share with you what it is we've learned along the way. So again, not only can we make your journey through the same experiences easier, quicker, and more efficient, but by doing so, it affords us an opportunity to sort of watch you slingshot past us, if you will. There's no greater feeling to a mentor than to watch one of our mentees not only equal or match our success, but more than that, far surpass it. So, with that being said, I want to get into this a little bit, and I want to discuss mentorship. I have a mentor, and, my mentor explained it to me best, and this made complete sense, and I want to share it all with you. A true mentor should be, and the way this is the prime way you can identify the right mentor for yourself, is the mentor you're looking for should come from a place the same or worse than you have come from, right? We're talking about beginnings, okay? A lot of times with the people who I get in front of who are afforded an opportunity to join into, my mentorship and become a part of things like the Entrepreneurial Collective, it's important that they understand who it is they're taking advice from, who it is they're, gleaning information from, me in this case. And so I explain this principle. Many people who are familiar with me, especially all of those inside the Entrepreneurial Collective, and many of you who have watched me for any period of time, are familiar with where I've come from. You've watched the building of my business. You've watched my journey, and that just adds validity to what it is I tell you. Many of you have trust and confidence in the advice that I share and give, and it's because you've watched a journey that I have laid out for all of you online over the past 10, 12 years, and that's awesome. However, for those of you that may not be that familiar with me, I want to give this tip not only for myself, but for any of you out there when considering a mentor. Where have I come from? Well, in my instance, I haven't finished high school. I've shared it with many. This is not due to a lack of ability. Rather, it was an immense lack of interest for what that system was teaching me. There's a lot of people out there who think, oh my God, I don't have some supreme formal education, therefore I'm destined to lose in life. No, this is not the case. Couldn't be further from the truth. Again, this is why this collective exists, and this is what I'm here to do, is dispel all those myths and fill you with truth so that you can experience the fact that you weren't born to work, pay bills, and die, but rather you are here and do possess a gift, and the fact of the matter is nobody on planet Earth can do better than you what you were created to do. Say that a few times fast. So anyways, it's important that your mentor is somebody who has come from a similar beginning as you have. The second thing, and there's 3 keys in total here, the second thing you want to identify when it comes to mentorship is you want to identify that your mentor has successfully performed in an area or a space that you are looking to successfully perform in. In this particular instance, the whole idea of being an entrepreneur is taking on greater than average or taking above average actions for above average results, right? If the people who wanted to be entrepreneurs didn't want to be entrepreneurs, we would have been okay taking a job, being just over broke in life and barely getting by and living those existences. We aren't interested in doing that. We understand the value of our gifts, and we want to go all out in this thing called life, and we want to get exactly what we're willing to give. What we put in, we want to get out. And so when it comes to that, my whole foundation here is your ability to effectively influence other human beings will be demanded of you if you are going to successfully deliver this gift of yours to the world. If you are successfully going to get this business, whatever product, service, thought, idea, or concept that you are selling, if you cannot successfully sell it, you will not be in business. And so I put a lot of emphasis on selling. And more importantly, I like to describe it as effectively influencing other human beings, right? All of us, including myself, we come to this entrepreneurial venture or journey, if you will, because we truly believe our gift and what it is we have for the marketplace is of such great value that we truly believe people's lives are worse off without it. And so it's very important we're able to convey this understanding to other human beings, but in turn, those other human beings are our market. And so to be able to effectively influence our market, a market that may sometimes not think they need what it is we have to offer, but to be able to effectively influence them and sell them on the features and benefits to logically justify why they need to take ownership of what it is we have to offer, that ability is exactly what's going to allow you to deliver this value to the marketplace. And more importantly, do so while being successful, maintaining profitability so you can help more people, right? That's the whole idea here. So again, the first is you want to identify in a mentor, has this individual come on or started from, humble beginnings like perhaps you have? The second thing is you want to see, is your mentor successfully performing, or do they have a successful track record of performance doing exactly what it is you want to do? In my instance here, as I just mentioned earlier, yes, I've successfully had a selling career. I came up in the automotive industry, performed at all roles inside of the dealership, and then I started a business where I train and develop salespeople, first and foremost in the automotive industry, but then since to all human beings, because sales is is sales, and the only thing that ever changes is X, and X equals the product. It started off as automobiles for me. It now is whatever the marketplace requires, and I teach people how to effectively sell those products, services, thoughts, ideas, and concepts by accurately identifying the features and benefits they offer to the marketplace, and then teaching people how to logically justify other human beings to take advantage of them. It's much more than that, but I'm trying to condense this for the sake of making a point. So in an instance where, perhaps you are saying, why would I consider a mentor like Alan Dickie? Well, again, I'm showing a track record of performance. I'm first showing a humble beginning that perhaps you match, or maybe you had a better beginning. Maybe you do have that university or college education that the world told you was going to be enough for you. But my point is by me stating, hey, I didn't even get the high school, right? And look at what I've been able to create. It's just to lend confidence to you in making this decision. Second, when it comes to me as a mentor, I have a career that has been laid out online, and the consistency and fruitfulness of it is all a click away. It's on the internet. So it's not something that a human being who wants to investigate whether I'm for real or not has to look hard to find. It's all right there. Finally, a mentor is somebody who should be living the life you want and deserve to live. Everybody has a different definition of success, right? My definition of success, well, there's a couple of them. One, the first and foremost, my number one definition is successfully performing exactly what you were created to do and perform, right? That's success. But my definition also bleeds into what I like to define as doing what I want, when I want, how I want, with whom I want, whenever I want. I have a family. I'm a strong believer in the family unit. I believe in things like the Bible that says children are a heritage from the Lord, and wise is he who fills his quiver with them. I believe that one of the greatest experiences you can have in life is to have a family. I'm a big believer of that. I'm also a believer in living a life I want and deserve to live, and being able to provide for all of those I love. That includes my wife and my children. So successfully having a successful business that affords me the ability to do all these things while loving my wife of 14 and counting years, and the two children that we're raising together. If this is what you think is a successful life, or a life that you would like to experience yourself, then this would tick that third box: a mentor living the life you want and deserve to live. So those are three things that will really make it easy for you to identify who is somebody you should consider as a mentor, and who is somebody that, is more than likely 100% able to help get you there, and to get you there quicker. Now, with those three things being said, I want to share an experience, because I do still currently work not only with entrepreneurs and various businesses, but I still have a big place in my heart for the automotive industry, and I work with dealers constantly. It's a big aspect of my business. Currently, I'm with one of my clients that comes to mind, and we've got new sales representatives there. And these are sales representatives that I handpick, right? I source and develop talent for the businesses I serve. And in this particular dealership, I have some sales representatives that I've identified that I believe have loads of potential and are worth pouring our time and energy into, to developing them into superstars, not only to perform so they can achieve their goals and desired results, but that being first and foremost, a byproduct of that is their success is going to mean success and profitability, not only for them, but as well for the dealership, which is the client I serve. And you see how those two are both being taken care of first? What comes after that is me. Yes, in the form of the revenue I receive from them for providing those two winning outcomes first and foremost. But back to the sales representatives. How is it I am going to get them to these levels of production where everybody wins? Well, I need to mentor them. You see, I need to teach them things that I learned in my career so that I can expedite their success. So instead of them taking 5 or 10 years to get to where my skill set was at, where my abilities were at, and where my performance levels were at, we can arrive there perhaps in 6 months, inside 12 months, if we put the right work in. And if I, as a mentor, am capable of doing what it is I claim to do, and if, more importantly, them as sales representatives are capable of being the clay that we're asking them to be. It's really simple. simple. Jump how high? If that's the answer, we've got a place to go. And so in these relationships, and this is what's really important, because some of you are either looking for the right mentor, and again, inside the Entrepreneurial Collective, you found us. But some of you also may have mentors that you've worked with in the past or are currently working with now. And this is why I'm talking about mentorship today, because I want to use this example to help everybody watching this podcast benefit from this wisdom that I'm going to share. Well, we have an incident just recently, and this is a really funny story. It actually is one of the favorite stories I've had in my career thus far in helping these automotive dealerships. One of the sales representatives really believes in doing things a certain way. Now, this is founded on nothing but their current belief system. You see, they are brand new to the automotive industry, and at this point, this particular individual's career is about 3 to 4 months deep. That's how long they've been selling automobiles. I, of course, started my career doing this almost 25 years ago, so I have quite an extensive history and understanding of this business and how to be successful in it. Well, we had a couple instances early on where I had said to them, you know, I've got some virtual training programs and platforms, and these are tools that I give them access to so that they can pour as much time and energy as they want into expediting their growth. Right? If they want to spend that time watching and learning how to develop their techniques instead of going home to watch, television shows or football games, then they can actually control the rate at which they experience success. Well, in these materials, I've laid out clear as day, like plain as day, exactly how to win. Step 1, step 2, step 3, repeat, do it again, right? And if it's followed, then you would be amazed. I've got sales representatives, 19, 20 years old, who come into our industry and experience six-figure incomes in their first year. The ones who are that successful, they're the ones who are able to be told once what is necessary to get there, and they do it. I mean, hashtag Nike, just do it. That's what these individuals do, the successful ones. Not every human being is that obedient, if you will, to the process, right? Because it does require a lot of faith. Again, this is why I'm explaining to you why you should have faith in mentorship. And if those 3 boxes I have just mentioned, if they are all ticked when you're considering a mentor, the only thing left for you to do is have faith in that mentor's ability to get you to where it is you want to go. Why would you have faith and trust in them? Again, based on those 3 boxes we've ticked, right? Based on they started from a similar or even more humbling beginning than you have, based on the fact that they have a successful track record performing in the space you're looking to successfully perform in, and based on the fact that they are currently living the life you want and deserve to live. If you have a mentor who is ticking those 3 boxes, folks, it's time for you to put your sword down and join the winners. Meaning, if they say jump, the only response out of your mouth should be how high. Listen to what they say, do what they say, think like a child, and let that be your approach, and you will win. It will frighten you how easy it is to win. Let me get back to my story. Well, we've had examples with this one sales representative. In fact, there's 2 of them. One of them is the type that you tell them to do something once, they just do it. They never defend bad positions, and their success has been there. The 6-figure performer I'm talking about, that individual is tracking that performance. But the other individual who I'm making this story about or sharing this story about is not on that path currently. Now, when these materials that are afforded to these individuals are provided and not followed, it shows up very quickly because certain process isn't being followed, and that leads to a poor result. Well, with this particular individual, we were experiencing this. And so I came in hands-on to lay out a process. And I said, listen, this is what you need to be doing. You need to do this, you need to do this, then you need to do that. If you do that, no less, no more, I guarantee you your results will change. Well, because I was inside of the dealership enforcing these processes and habits and just simply not tolerating them not being done, well, they were getting done. And what ended up happening is the results showed up right away, right? So again, as a recap, we've got an individual here who it's my job to mentor, and I'm explaining to them exactly what they need to do, but they're not doing it. When I come in and I make them do it, I say, this is how it's being done, and we actually do exactly what I've stated needs to be done. The result shows up, And then the words out of this individual's mouth is, oh my God, you're right. I can't believe I haven't been doing this since day one. It just makes sense. We're selling cars like candy bars. I'm making money. This is great. Okay. Well, this was the experience going, say, a month ago. This particular individual started making them adhere to these processes, ensuring that they were, and results were automatic. Selling cars, being profitable, everything was great. Well, recently, we've been working on a few other things, and some of them have been particular closing techniques, right? Again, folks, when you understand how to effectively influence each other, you or other human beings, you understand that conviction is a huge deal, right? Anytime two people get together and one person's conviction outweighs the others, you start giving up on your beliefs and start buying into mine. It's called being sold. Well, these principles, amongst many others, were being explained to this particular individual, and yet there continued to be excuses for why the individual was not following certain processes that would make them successful. Again, in the mentoring sessions, I pointed out to them, I said, blame is the energy that creates slaves. I've heard 5 reasons from you as to why something's not working, and not one single reason had anything to do with you. All it was blaming other people. Folks, when you're going to be mentored by somebody who has been where you are, successfully performed at what you're looking to successfully perform at, this is not the time to question what it is they're telling you to do. All it's doing is holding you back, creating frustration in your life, and having you make no money and experience no success and no result. Wow, what a frustrating existence. Let me get on with my story. So here's the best part. We're going through, and this is days old. That's why I'm having so much fun sharing it. We're going through an example of a particular car deal that didn't get closed. And I was explaining to the sales representative one of the many, many laws and principles that I share and actually teach inside the Entrepreneurial Collective to business owners. Because again, a sales representative inside of a dealership is a business within the business. The laws and the principles are the exact same in that environment, as well as, to you perhaps, who's starting a brand new company, baking cakes or whatever you're doing. It doesn't matter. The laws are infallible and they serve both instances. But I was explaining to him, I said, anytime value exceeds price, business gets done. You understand that, folks? Let me say that one again. Anytime value exceeds price, business gets done. Well, when you're conducting a transaction, and that's the word, I like to conduct or create relationships when I'm interacting with clients. But when you're conducting a transaction, if the only value you have to offer is monetary, is the money, then the only time a potential client could ever experience value from you is when you give money away or discount the product. But that violates another law, because discounts, they only decrease the value of whatever it is you're selling. I am not in the business of discounting anything, and I would encourage all of you out there, never discount your services. This is a horrendous approach to influencing somebody to take advantage of what it is you have to offer. Instead, live and die by the law I'm sharing with you. Anytime value exceeds price, business gets done. If this doesn't fully make sense to you yet, I suggest you click on this link and come and find out what it's all about. You're the only one who's costing yourself a ton of money and opportunity by the second for each second you're not familiar with these laws and principles. Let's get back to my story. Well, I continue to explain that anytime value exceeds price, business gets done. So in a particular situation where you're going to be the automotive sales professional serving a client, not only for this vehicle, but for many to come, because that should be the approach. Again, here's the principle. Amateurs focus on the front end. All right. There's a lot more opportunity than one transaction that you or this particular sales representative could pull off. Well, then this forces you to say, where can I get alternative points of value? Now, while I have a ton of different ways to do that, I want to zero in on the one that I shared with him. I shared with him the one piece of value that no other dealership, no other sales representative on God's green earth could possibly match that you possess is you. You, the individual, you, the sales representative. I explained to him, if you were to develop a relationship instead of conducting a transaction, you would be able to look a client in the eye and say to them, the only thing that separates me from anybody else you could purchase this vehicle from is what I'm willing and committed to do before, during, but most importantly, after the point of purchase, sir. And if you were to give me an opportunity to show you what that looks like, I guarantee you the value of that would far exceed the $600 we're away on price right now. And that was actually the story. There was a deal. He was working and the customer had walked away over $600. I said to him, no car deal has ever been lost over $600, but you couldn't tell this person anything. They just were committed to the fact that the customer wouldn't pay. The customer wouldn't pay. Well, if you tell me what I can't do, I'm going to show you what I can. And what I did here is I said to the sales representative, I said, I'll tell you what, this is what I think you should do. The particular customer that we're talking about lives 3 minutes from the dealership. Now, if you truly want to demonstrate this value that I'm suggesting you possess, again, being what you can do not only before, not only during, but most importantly after the point of purchase of this automobile, then I would get the vehicle, I would get it detailed, take it over to their driveway, knock on their door right now and say, folks, I just wanted to bring the vehicle you want and deserve to drive into your driveway and offer you an apology, because apparently I didn't effectively convey to you what it is you were getting for the $600 we were apart on that deal. And at that point, I said to them, I would start to double down on all the features and benefits of doing business with you that will afford you an opportunity to logically justify to the client why they should pay that extra money. When I mentioned this to the sales representative thought, no, that's weird. I looked at them and I thought, well, what's weird about it? Right now, you've got a client who is in need of an automobile that they don't have, which means they're either walking or paying for some alternative form of transportation. This is a problem. This is a nuisance. Every successful business on planet Earth, including all of you entrepreneurs out there, you're building a business off of providing solutions to problems. So I don't understand your perception, I said to him. This seems like an incredible opportunity to be at service. This is amazing. I would love if somebody showed up to my house in this capacity. I went on to explain to him that this would further demonstrate everything he's trying to sell them on. The fact that this is not just about a transaction and you're here long term, and that you understand by servicing and taking care of your client, in this case them, this would only lead to their confidence to tell other people in their networks, in their environments, to do business with this particular salesperson. An incredible referral opportunity. Nope. Mr. 4 months on the job just couldn't see it. And then I said this. I said, you realize I could go over into the car and I could go close this car deal and do it in 5 minutes. And it was at that point the sales representative said, well, I'd like to see that. Well, now you've just poked a bear. Because I'm the guy that does everything I say I'm going to do. You must be the other guy. Yeah, inside the Entrepreneurial Collective, sometimes when you come in here with humility and you hear about the approaches and how we can get things done, there are instances where business owners are like, man, I don't see how that'll work. It's at that point I get on a telephone with you. I tell you to be quiet and I will do exactly what I'm teaching you how to do and successfully close business for you. Because I don't need to wonder if anything I teach will work, because they're all laws and principles behind what I teach. So it's not my thinking. They're infallible laws and principles that let me know my success can and will be guaranteed. Check out the link, folks. Back to the story. The sales representative said, well, I'd like to see that. I said to the salesperson, if I go over and if I close this deal, when I come back, you're going to deliver the car and I'm not going to pay you a commission. Are you okay with that? And are you sure you want me to go? Well, they said yes. Ding, ding. Yes, that's right, folks. Now a game has begun in my head because this is all a game. It's too much fun. I love playing it. This is why I do what I do. I said to the individual, go and get the vehicle and pull it up to the front of the store. I don't just speak about it, I be about it, folks, because that's what leaders do. Leaders lead by example and are never afraid to do what they're asking you to do. I'm going to speed this up a little bit. This individual pulled this car up. I jumped into the car. I went over to that house. Forgive me if it wasn't 5 minutes. I think it took about 13. I came out with a commitment and the customers were at the dealership less than 30 minutes later, okay, They did their paperwork in the business office. Here's a funny thing. Where this individual thought there was no more money and the customer wouldn't pay anymore, not only did they pay the additional money to get the deal done, they also spent an additional $5,200 in the business office with things like wonderful warranty coverages and rust-proofing products that were available just to insulate their investment. A beautiful vehicle they got. But it just goes to show how or where did that money come from? Well, again, folks, hello. Anytime value exceeds price, business gets done. Apparently, the value of ensuring their investment and make sure it was protected against the elements exceeded the price of doing so, and so a button got pushed and business got done. Get out of your own way, folks. Get out of your own way, Mr. Salesman. I came back and this deal did get closed. You know what the funny thing is, folks? I'm going to put the link in the comments in the future, but I videotaped all of it because I'm silly like that. I like to make examples of things so people can learn from them. So in the future, you can count on finding that here. It'll also be on social media. Give me a week or so. But my point to you, I'm sharing this story with you for a reason. This salesperson has all the potential in the world. Otherwise, I wouldn't be spending my time and energy with them. However, do you want to know what the biggest thing is that I cannot teach, help, or change as a mentor is I can't get this individual out of their own way. You see, you as an individual need to do that. The reason I'm explaining to you this about mentorship is because when you decide to select a mentor, there's only 2 steps to be taken. Step 1, identify that all 3 of those boxes I mentioned in the beginning of this episode are ticked. If you've forgotten them, rewind the episode and watch it again. That's step 1. You know what step 2 is? Zip your lip, do the math. You've got 2 ears and 1 mouth. Use these more than you're using this. Listen to what your mentor's telling you to do and do it. And then when you successfully do that and there's no result, open your mouth all you want. But do you want to know what mentors, good ones, people who know what they're doing do? We look for your obedience because we understand that if you are obedient, we don't need to wish or wonder. You're going to look at us like this one day and say, oh my God, it was so easy. It worked that well. The Entrepreneurial Collective's the best investment I ever made in my life. And those are the moments where we are on the ladder as mentors saying, yes, this is why I do what I do. You see, folks, in this instance, a lesson's going to be learned, right? I went to the extent of affording a sales representative an opportunity to learn and develop. You want to know where the ball was dropped? The sales representative didn't even say, could I come along on the ride so I could watch how it's done and learn? If they had did that, they could have saved an opportunity to be given that commission. They will not be given the commission, not 1 cent of it. For those of you that might think, well, that's not nice, let me afford some further understanding. Here's another law, and I want you can jump in the comments and tell me where I'm wrong. You see, I teach people that the greatest lessons you learn tend to be the ones that hurt the most. Yep, they're the ones that made you want to curse up and down, yell and blame the world for everything, and yet because they happened and because you felt their sting, you've never been a victim of them again, and your ability to avoid being a victim of the same thing again has afforded you an abundance of opportunity, success, and most importantly, captured opportunity because of the lesson. Yes? Tell me where I'm wrong, because I haven't heard a legit response to that claim yet. In this particular instance, this is going to tickle. In 13 minutes, I put a commission or a deal together that would have paid this gentleman a nice commission, right? I did it in 13 minutes. They could have been along for that 13-minute ride, not only received the instant gratification of generating that commission, but more importantly, learned a lesson that would make them tens, hundreds of millions of dollars in their future moving forward. But you know what's a bitch, folks? Pride and ego is a bitch. Yeah, pride and ego. And there's a lot of people out there, budding entrepreneurs, who don't make it because of this pride and ego, right? Sometimes you need to understand and accept there are people who know more than you, are more successful than you. Listen, on a percentages or an averages of the world, the success I've experienced is of the top 1% of people on planet Earth. However, 1% of 7 billion people is a shit ton of people, isn't it? Yes, it's a lot of people. And what does that mean? It means that, well, what I teach, the number one character trait to achieving success in your life is humility. You must understand there are people who know more than you, which is why I too have mentors. I seek to be the dumbest and the poorest in my circle of 5. What am I talking about? The 5 people you spend the most time with. Because if you are the dumbest and the poorest in your circle of 5, you are affording yourself an immense opportunity to grow. If you're the smartest amongst a bunch of stupid people, you're not that smart. You understand what I'm saying? And so it takes humility. It takes the ability to capture your pride and ego and set it to the side, to truly examine yourself, identify these holes and flaws, and then strengthen them and improve upon them. Folks, we're talking about mentorship. I'm giving you this example to help you identify mentors for yourself. Also, to help identify exactly the mentorship you can expect inside of the Entrepreneurial Collective. I'm not here to be a cuddly teddy bear for you. And any good mentor who is not doing right by you. Unless you are one of the small and minute percent who always uses 2 ears, understands listening's more important than talking, has no problem keeping your pride and ego in check, and when your mentor says jump, the only words out of your mouth are how high. I've just seen and met enough human beings that sometimes it doesn't come that easy, and sometimes it takes some experience. Right? Sometimes it takes the experience of seeing what your mentor suggests, seeing that it works so wonderfully smooth, and seeing the fruit that it bears that allows you and affords you the ability to calm your pride and ego so you can buy into the next foreign move, foreign play, foreign idea that you've never known or experienced, but your mentor is sitting there with a cocky confidence almost as they tell you this is how you're going to get it done. There was a lesson learned for this individual, and I truly, truly, truly hope the lesson has been learned and will be learned so it could be avoided in the future. But I'm telling all of you, do not lean on your own understanding. If you have mentors in your life who have done what you're looking to do, are living the life you're looking to live, then do the math. Use these more than you use this. Have confidence on choosing them based on the 3 prerequisites I outlined in the beginning of this episode, and then think like a child. Move forward, do what they say, and reap all of the rewards. Because all of us who are mentors, we are not in the business of watching you struggle, bump your head, and fail. Your successes are a reflection on us, which is why we are so confident in the instruction we give, and we love so dearly when you take it, apply it, and bear fruit. So you win, and we get to say, wow, there's an amazing student who I really think has the potential not only to equal what I've done, but far surpass me, and nothing would make me happier. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the episode I have for you today on mentorship. My God, I hope you are picking up what I'm putting down. This right here, one of the most valuable 30 plus minutes you could ever spend. I encourage you to listen to it again. Hey, do you have a mentor? What are your thoughts on what it is I'm saying here? Do you disagree with any of it? I'd like to see it in the comments because I'm willing to stand on everything I'm saying in here, and I have a legion of people who will support me the same. Why don't you put your sword down and come join us? Let me show you how you can expedite your success and start to crush your life, your business, and truly serve all of us here on planet Earth through it. Listen, I want to thank you again. I want to remind you, like and subscribe so you get notifications on all content and all future episodes. We have just closed this subject of mentorship. And again, I really hope you're picking up what I'm putting down. This has been the Entrepreneurial Collective podcast, and I'll look forward to seeing you on our next episode. Make it a great day.